Okay, we're going to do a short review of how we use the new pH meter. That's this thing right here. This is a new handheld pH meter, really easy to use. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is some chem wipes. That's these things right here. The solution that you're going to measure, in my case I have a 10% sodium bicarbonate solution. And then you can use either a small 50 ml beaker or a 100 ml beaker. And I also have a larger beaker. You don't have to use this, but I'm going to use this for a rinsing step because I don't have a sink right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to remove the cap from the pH meter. This may take a little bit of strength, so pop this cap off. Be careful because there is a little bit of solution in this cap, and that's what protects our pH electrode, this little glass bulb here, when we're not using it. So this cap I'm going to either put into the 50 ml beaker or the 100 ml beaker, and that's going to help me keep from losing this thing. So once we set that aside, we're ready to go. We're going to turn on the pH meter by holding down the power button. It has a circle with a small line through it, which most power buttons usually have, and the word mode next to it. So we're going to hold that button down for a full second. There we go. Alright, so immediately you're going to see a pH reading. We're going to take the pH meter and you're going to put it into your solution, and that's going to give you your pH of the solution. Here we have a 9.27 reading for the pH, which is about right because sodium bicarbonate is slightly basic. So anytime that you're going to change solutions or put the pH meter back onto its cap, or its cap back onto the pH meter, we're going to have to rinse the electrode because we don't want to keep any of the things that are inside this solution here that you're measuring the pH of. We don't want any of that stuff to be stuck on the electrode because that's going to wear it down and make us not able to use it in the future. So we're going to rinse that. Here I have a larger beaker that I'm going to use to rinse the pH electrode with. So I'm going to hold the electrode over the larger beaker. You can hold it over your sink if you want to. And I'm going to use DI water that's at your table, and I'm going to rinse the electrode. You got to get in there really good and rinse all around everywhere where you had that solution. Give it a nice shake, and I'm going to wipe around the electrode, make sure I get all that juicy stuff off, the outside there. And that little glass ball there, the actual electrode bulb there, we're going to just tap it very gently with this chem wipe. So after you've done that, you're ready to put your cap back on. Here I have the caps numbered, so if you see this cap is number 8, this pH meter is also number 8. When you're ready to put this back on, you're going to have to make sure that there's a buffer solution inside that cap in case we spilled any out when we were taking it off. That happens very easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our pH meter to the side, and we're going to take some pH 7 buffer. That's this right here. It's a pH 7 buffer solution. And we're going to pour some into a beaker, just a little bit. And after we've poured some into a beaker, we can take our plastic disposable pipette or dropper and we can suck some up. And inside this cap there's a small cylinder or circle. We're going to pipette the solution down in there. You may or may not be able to see that, but when you're doing this, look in there, you'll see it. And once you've done that, once that solution's in there, we're ready to put the pH meter back in there. So we're going to hold the power button for 1 full second again till it says off. There we go. So once it's turned off, you can now put the cap back on. You can do this by leaving the cap inside the beaker that you had it in and pushing down to snap it on, or you can do it with your hand. You know which way the cap's going to go on by looking at the numbers. So the numbers should both be on the same side. That's how you're going to know which way the cap goes on. Okay, so basically that's how you're going to use this instrument. If you have any questions about calibration of this piece of equipment, then you will have to talk to your instructor.